The support I receive as a franchisee has been beyond my expectation. Um, this is my first time in any kind of business venture. Like I've always been in healthcare, and so I was expecting more of a employer-employee kind of relationship, to be honest with you. But going into this with Eddie, Frank, and Peter, like the amount of support we receive is it's almost like we're colleagues. That's probably the best way for me to describe it. Like they never look at us and we never look at them as like a hierarchical kind of point of view. You know, we're friends at the end of the day. We all want the same thing and we all like the same thing. And so I feel like whenever I ask them for help and support, they really do approach it in a way where I feel like it's a friend that's helping me out with my best interest, you know, instead of their best interest, because I guess our best interest is their best interest. So it's been really refreshing to have that kind of dynamic with them.
If I had tried to do this on my own, I think I would have failed before I started. I think there are just so many hurdles with permitting and working with the city and health authorities that I just never done anything like that and wouldn't know how to navigate them. So it just would have been a non-starter. I mean, it's definitely been harder than I ever thought it would be, but I'm at a point now where like the hard work was worth it.
The overall experience has been good. I would say there has been lack on a few like processy things, which I know are getting worked on right now as we speak. So that would be like my main thing that I'm saying is like lacking. But in terms of support, I would say Frank, Eddie, and Peter are absolutely amazing. They'll pretty much drop anything and chat through like a scenario, whether it's like the sauna build or applying for financing or just like, oh shit, I don't know what to do next. I would say they jump in and they're ready to support us, which I've really appreciated. And I think it's been a really nice experience as a first-time entrepreneur. I know Rob here has started a business before, but having that support and kind of like, there's still risk with this, but the risk is a little bit lowered with a proven business model and then a ton of people that have already done it. Yeah, that would be kind of my main 2 cents right away. Do you have any other thoughts?
Same, Jen. It just feels like it's kind of like a big family. I guess like there's always someone to reach out to. Yeah, the only thing, if I had to like critique one thing, is there's tons of support. Yes, there just might not have been. There's some things where I feel like we walked into and we're like, oh shit, we had no clue. Like, I don't know how much money you needed to have up front is like a good indicator. Like we walked into like, yeah, this sounds super awesome, but how broke are we gonna go? We had no clue. But again, like once as we're going through this stuff, it's been super cool to just have so many people to lean on.
Yeah, the support's been great. Obviously having Eddie as like the in-house coach, kind of someone to go to just talk about what's going on, like if you need support in the moment. And just like tons of resources, and they're always growing, you know, like just the amount of like Google Drives and spreadsheets and contacts and things you have access to for furniture or building materials or whatever. There's so much. So there's always, you can get an answer really quickly.
I think this opportunity is for people who genuinely believe in the hot cold cycling space. I feel like for sure, like your passion has to be there for this. I'm not saying that like if you're going to it without the passion, it's not right, but I feel like you get more out of it, out of the business, if you also enjoy what it is, if you enjoy what it is that you're doing. And I feel like for me and my partners who all went into this together, we all enjoy hot cold cycling so much that we actually want to go every day, you know, and we want to integrate that into our life. We always daydream that once our location comes up, that we'll just be training jiu-jitsu, hot cold plunge cycling, eat lunch, go home and nap, and rinse and repeat every day. This opportunity is not for maybe people who aren't willing to take big risks. I think it's probably because I think if you're not willing to step out of your comfort zone, that this isn't for you. Very much like if you're not willing to take the first foot into like the cold tub, you're not gonna be able to take your foot into this kind of business. Yeah, that's my honest opinion.
Yeah, I think anyone who wants to do this as a side hustle or a side job, and I've spoken to a couple people like that, is probably in for a rude awakening. But if anyone's looking to fully commit and they don't mind doing a lot of shitty jobs where your hands are getting dirty, I think it's a really good opportunity. And like I said, like now I have so much flexibility in my life that if you can deal with a year or two of pain, the reward is worth it at the end. And I think 2 years isn't that much pain in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, I think it's a perfect opportunity if I like look at myself like someone that's wanted to be an entrepreneur, but like didn't have the winning idea of like, I don't know, a spaceship. It's like that was my challenge before I started this was I want to own something, but I don't know what. And this was like a perfect alignment. And then same thing, like you have the support from other franchise owners and the franchise or team. So I think it's like a good mix to get your feet wet and see if entrepreneurship is actually something for you. I mean, I guess it's not for someone who's not willing to put in the work and doesn't have the patience to go through the process. Like for us, our process has actually been pretty quick comparably to others, and we're about we signed about 11 months ago, and we're waiting on permits. So we still have like a few more months on top. So I think like if you're not prepared to commit maybe minimum a year before you even have a space to even call your own, that would be something. Financial commitment as well. The numbers are a lot bigger than we originally thought we would be putting in, but I think if like we didn't say yes to it, and maybe if we didn't know about the numbers, maybe we wouldn't have been here.
That's true.
So that's also maybe sometimes it's like ignorance is bliss, and just saying yes to the process, and it's just all gonna work out.
Man, it's for anyone who just wants to like create a positive impact within their community, bring something good to their city wherever they are, because that's Tality's like a hub, right? It's like a hub to bring people together, do something great that's good for their health. So anyone who wants to create that in their community, it's definitely for that person. It's not for somebody who thinks opening a Tality is easy because of what the business is. Like, just because it's a sauna cold plunge business and on the outside looking in, it's all like a great time and an awesome place to be. It doesn't make it easy. It's still opening a business. Just like opening any other business, you're gonna have a lot of challenges, and that's part of it. So you have to be prepared for that. You have to be able to go through some tough stuff, you know? So anyone who thinks it's just easy because of what it is, it's not gonna be easy. And it's probably not for you if you're looking for something easy.
Like I'm a biomedical engineer by training, so I work in healthcare. So my specialty is in cancer care, and I love my job. And I'm still doing the job now, obviously. And leading up to this, you know, for a long time I thought like, hey, I want to do that job forever, and a part of me still does, but it's hard to explain. It's almost like I'm taking the more selfish approach now. Like I want to do something for me for the rest of my life, as opposed to doing something for others for the rest of my life. And I think Tality will take me there. Yeah.
I was working in the tech industry as a recruiter for about 10 years. So I've been working at Facebook for 3 years before doing this. In that role, like I thought that was going to be my forever job. Like they treat you really well, nice company to work for. But they did lay me off, so it wasn't perfect. And again, at the time when I got laid off, I like looked at the industry and it was just such a bad place at that time. Like everyone was getting laid off, so it didn't feel worth it to me to struggle to find a job, probably a lower paying job or a worse company, just to potentially get laid off again. So in this weird way, like taking a risk on Tality felt safer than going back into my career. And now I've like looked at it and everyone's still getting laid off. Like I think it's actually worse now than it was 3 years ago.
So for work, what I was doing before Tality and currently am doing while I'm creating Tality, I work full-time in marketing and operations for a startup company. So I handle kind of everything, which is kind of like directly correlating to my Tality experience because I can do everything from operations to marketing. We're doing finance, kind of have my fingers in everything. It's fully remote, so I think that has made this really not easy, but I can go to meet our designers or our contractors in the middle of my full-time remote workday, and I just tell them I'm going to a dentist appointment and it's no big deal. Whereas I think if maybe you're in person, it'd be a little bit more challenging to figure that out. But if you want to do something, I think it's fine. That's what I'm doing for work right now.
I am still doing real estate. I think, when I first was introduced to this, I think I still had my landscape company, but no longer doing that. And still doing, slanging homes, trying to slang some homes.
It was our friend Dave's birthday, and so none of us, the friend group, has ever done cold plunging before. And so for Dave, he was like, for my birthday, I'm gonna go cold plunging. And we were like kind of reluctant about it. We're like, we hate the cold. We don't really want to do this. But then because it's his birthday, he kind of like cornered us to doing it. So I remember I booked Tality for him in August. And so August rolls around and then we all meet up here at this location, Shipyards, and then we come in, didn't know what to expect. And what do I remember from that day? I remember we were all kind of like pushing each other to go first because no one wanted to go into the cold tub first. And I think at the end of the day, we all just agreed to all go in at the same time. And so there's 4 tubs, there's like 6 of us. So 4 of us went into our own tubs, and then the 2 that were left behind were sharing tubs. And so we all went in and we were like swearing up a storm. We were like, fuck this, like fuck that, like why are we even here, blah, blah, blah. And then like after 30 seconds, not even, I would say it's 10 seconds, we got out of the tubs and ran straight to the sauna. And then the moment we got into the sauna, we were like, holy shit, this is super nice. And we kind of just went silent for probably like 5 seconds. And then we were like, oh, this is great. Like we would definitely do this again. And so I remember we were out in the lounging space and I was zoned out, I was gone. I was like in my own head. I was thinking about my life and what I like to do and my goals in life. And I remember there was like a thought that said like, I want to open Tality. So then I went home that day and then I just like Googled Tality again, and lo and behold, I found the franchise information. And so that same night, I emailed Eddie and Peter and said, hey, like I'm interested in becoming a Tality franchisee. Like, what does it take?
Honestly, it's actually a long story, but I'll try to shorten it a little bit. Like I went back home to New Zealand while I was still working to take a month off, and I joined a gym there that had a cold plunge and sauna, and I just started doing it every day over the month. And I got back to Vancouver and thought, like when I'm back here, I'll just join a gym that has it, and quickly realized that didn't exist. And then I found Tality, joined the mailing list, thought that was really cool, thought it would be a cool business opportunity, but like I said, I was working at the time and didn't really want to quit my job to do it. And then fast forward 3 months, I got laid off. Got the email from Pete literally 1 week later that they were looking to franchise. So just sent him a quick email like, hey, I'm Hamish. And then it just snowballed from there. So I don't know if there was a ton of thought put into it, but it just felt like everything lined up at the right time.
I mean, I used to be completely against both the sauna and the cold plunge thing, to be honest. And I only went to support the friends, and then I just fell in love. And I was, like saying inside, but just the people, just it just was a cool place to hang out, and that's all I really cared about.
The health and wellness aspect and the creating of community in a very different way than going to, I don't know, like a yoga studio or a run club or something like that. Like I thought it was really interesting, and yeah, Rob brought me actually to my first Tality session, so I think that's a really like serendipitous thing that we're now doing it together. Um, but yeah, I would just say wellness was at the core of my heart and what I wanted to do, and it just seemed like a really good fit.